This is our Deicing Depot 535 gallon brine sprayer. This sprayer also comes in other sizes such as a 1035, a 1335, all the way up to, I believe, a 5,000 gallon tank. This unit, because of its weight, needs to be on an F450 or larger. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put it on your truck. You're going to securely fasten it to how you would like it to be fastened, so it does not come off the truck. Once it's fastened, the second thing you're going to do is make sure you got plenty of fuel, which is up here. Then we're going to check our oil right here. It should just barely run out, which it does, so it's good to go. Very important to always do your pre-trip inspection. Okay? Powered by 7-pin wire that goes down to your 7-pin connector. So it uses the constant hot in the ground out of your 7-pin for your trailer connector. Now that we have that, we want to make sure that our suction from the tank is in the right place. The yellow handle pointed towards the green hose means it's going to suck out of the tank, through the pump, up and out into your valves. Okay? This is your offload valve. When you're spraying with this unit, the offload valve handle is across. If you're going to come back to your yard and refill your tank from this tank, you would hook a hose here, start the motor, offload it into your tank. To spray with it, again, hose handle pointed towards the tank. And then to set our pressure, you're going to come over here. We're going to close this back pressure handle. We're going to close it and slightly crack it open. We got to have some flow going back to the tank. Once that's done, we want to come over here. We're going to go ahead and start the motor. Once we start the motor, we're going to adjust our engine speed to where that pressure gauge on top says 40 psi static pressure, which means the pump's flowing but nothing's coming out of the spray bar. So we're going to go ahead and start it up. So you got an on-off switch in the back, which you can't see. A choke, that's your choke. That's your gas on and off, and that's your throttle. So we're going to go ahead and start it. See, right now, if you look at the pressure gauge, it's at like 30 psi. We want it to read 40. All we did was set the back pressure cracked open, and we set the engine speed to get us to 40. And now we're going to spray with our spray bar. 1, 2, 3. Left, center, and right. Our fourth switch is for an LED light that's on top, which is an optional add-on. We're going to go ahead and spray with the center. Number 2. Now we're going to spray with our left. And now our right. So this one is fully automatic from inside the cab. Turn it off. Once you start turning the left and right boom buster on, you're going to want to slow your roll down to about 15 or so, maybe even 12 to get that 1 gallon per 1,000, or whatever you feel is necessary for your application. Remember, the slower you go, the more you're going to put down. The faster you go, the less you put down. Hose reel is a retractable hose reel. Locks in place. to adjust for a sidewalk. The more you squeeze it, the straighter it gets. The sidewalk, we want to do a spray. So to see that again, fine spray, fan. The harder you squeeze it, the straighter it gets. So this unit is great for sidewalks. And we're spraying what, 40 feet? Maybe 30? Most of our spray units will come with a hose barb fitting. So what you can do is you can disconnect the hose, like for summertime, watering. And we have lots of people that are using it to water. They'll hook this up here. We'll put 50 to 100 gallons, 100 foot of hose on there. And they may even add 2 of these. And then fire up your motor. Turn on number 2. You can go water flowers or what have you. You can do some water with that. And so when you hook your hoses up, you just want to make sure left is left, center is center, and right is right. So follow your hoses down, left, center, and right. At the end of the day, you're done spraying, as we discussed a few minutes ago. You still have fluid in your tank. You want to unload the tank. Again, you hook a hose up here, right here, hook it up to your tank, open the ball valve, fire up the unit, offload your brine. You can also unload your tank with this valve. So what you do is you will fill the hose up from your tank, make sure it's full of fluid, bring it all the way to here, connect it in, right here, bam, and then we're going to rotate this ball valve. I don't want to do it without the plug because we'll get wet. So we're going to rotate this handle 1/4 turn towards the pump. Now it's sucking from here into the pump and back out to your back pressure valve. That's the only time that you would open the back pressure valve fully, is there to load the tank. Once you're done loading the tank, close it, crack it open, come back over here, rotate this ball valve 1/4 turn again, in line with the green hose or in line with the tank. Now it's circulating back on itself. Make sure your pressure gauge still reads 40. Disconnect your hose from your tank, go to your job site. So this tank, because of its size, needs to be on a fairly large truck. This is an F750, which has a GVW of 26,000. So we have the tank on the truck. We've secured the tank to the truck so it will not fall off the truck while you're in motion down the road loaded with brine. At the end of every event, you're going to want to make sure that you wash all this down good with good clean water and do your best to flush inside of the flywheel area with clean water. Once that's done, so stick a hose in here, up in here, try to get you want it running too while you're doing that, so you can try to clear out any salt that's got sucked up in there, because it cools through here, so it's going to suck salt water. Once you're done, fluid film with the straw right through this hole. You got a hole here, with the motor running. Spray it in the top hole, the bottom hole, whatever hole you can get it in, trying to coat that flywheel and stator so it does not lock up. This will be your first failure right here. You'll go to start it, and that'll be about as far as you get because it didn't get clean, and now the flywheel and stator has rusted together. Any other questions? Please feel free to call us at 954-781-9200.